Hello you guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here for the very first time, I would really appreciate it if you decide to subscribe. All you need to do is hit this little red button and be sure to also hit the bell so you get notified every time that I post. So today I have a very exciting video and something that really surprised me. I am a lover of medium to full coverage foundations, preferably with a luminous finish. That's kind of like what I like. I do have vitiligo on my skin, so I usually tend to go for more higher foundation, like more higher coverage foundations. That being said, I have no clue why I got attracted to this foundation, which is from Rose Inc. This is the Skin Enhance Luminous Tinted Serum. So not even labeled as a foundation, it's just a tinted serum. This is going to be usual size as a foundation, so 1 fluid ounce. It comes in this kind of like purplish tone lavender box with white lettering. Here just Rose Inc, which is the brand. And on the very top you do get the number of the shade. Not really as good of a shade match, but kind of the medium spectrum. I did get mine in the shade 060, which is the medium with neutral undertones. So this is going to be a pricey product because it's not, again, a foundation. This is just a tint, like a skin tint, and it retails for $49, once again, for 1 fluid ounce. And I also picked up the brush that was suggested with the foundation. This is the brush number 3, and this one retails for $32. So foundation or skin tint, that's what the bottle looks like. Then once again, I did pick the brush to go with it. I thought it would be a good combo since I really don't have skin tint, so I really wouldn't know what brush to use it with. Skin tint was released with only 14 shades available, so that's very lacking. I know the that was Lucy. The brand itself is not too big and it's semi-new, but still, I mean, releasing a foundation type or a base type product with only 14 shades, Lucy, I feel like it's not ideal. Even though it's going to be a skin tint, you have the possibilities to find one of them to match or very close to your skin color because it's not an actual foundation, so it's not going to provide as much coverage, as much color. But still, I feel like she could have done a better job at providing more shades because the shade range is just not there. It's just very limited. Now let's move on with trying it on my face. It is of course the one that I'm wearing today. This is the first and only skin tint that I ever owned and I ever tried, so it was definitely a first impressions as an overall. So yeah, let's get right into trying it. So I got mine in the shade 060. This is going to be the medium skin in neutral, so that's kind of like what my skin is more guided towards, neutral shades. So in store they didn't have all of the sample, like the sample foundations to check it out, but I got the one that I thought would be the best for me. And it looks very dark on the bottle, but once I sampled a couple of them on my skin, like on the back of my hand, this one looked like the best. They also had a 70 that wasn't sample ready, so I couldn't try it. So we'll hope this is the best one. So my skincare is ready. Let's just get right into it. My skin is ready. I just need to do some kind of primer. I am trying to finish up this little smaller size of this Smashbox primerizer. So that's what we're going to use. My skincare is already done. By the way, I just released, or I just uploaded my skincare morning routine. If you're interested in that, I'll leave it in the description box down below. Everything that I've been using for probably 6 to 8 months. So my sunscreen was also on already, so just adding a little bit of primerizer to move on with the foundation or really tinted serum. I don't know if you're supposed to mix this or not, but I'm kind of like mixing it. That's what I do with every foundation. We'll see. So it comes in a plastic clear bottle. This is going to be 1 fluid ounce, so the usual foundation size, and it does have those pearls all over, which that's, I'm assuming, the tint, like the little pearls you see are the tint, and then the rest is just kind of like probably a clear serum. I'm not sure. It does come with a pump, which I'm very happy it does. And then it has this also plastic, more kind of like off-white, almost gray lid, and then the same color of the pump. Okay, so like always, I'm going to apply it on the back of my hand. This is what I always do with foundations. Then we'll see. Okay, so that is very liquidy, whoops, very runny. You can tell right there. So I don't know how to do this. So I'm just gonna go directly with the brush in the back of my hand, and there's the product. Let me get a little bit closer to the camera, and I'm just going to start blending this. Oh, this brush is really nice. Okay, so, okay. We'll just add the remaining on my forehead, and then a little here around the eyes. Didn't even touch my nose. So, it feels very wet. It feels very wet whenever I applied it. I'm glad I got this brush because I feel like any other brush that I have would have not been ideal. So I feel like the color match was pretty good. Once again, this is just a tinted serum, so you can't really expect much coverage from this. But here is the tinted serum on this side of my skin. So it definitely got the redness looking much better. It's not as intense, this one right here. And it just evened out my skin tone very nicely. So here is the side of the face that has the tinted serum, and then here is with nothing. I do feel like the serum or the tinted serum did give me a very light sheer coverage, but I like how it looks because it just gives that more unified tone compared to this one. And the color match, I feel like it's perfect. So now I'm gonna go ahead and do one more pump, probably a pump and a half almost, on the other side. We're gonna apply same brush, and I'm just gonna start blending so you can see how the color just kind of like dissipates really easily, and the foundation is just blending very, very easy. So I'm gonna add a little bit on the nose. And this brush, oh my goodness, this brush is so delicious. It's so soft and it's very, very smooth. And once again, the tint just feels like I'm applying almost like water to my skin. So that's probably the serum effect. But yeah, I'm just blending this, and this is a very nice brush. It's not giving me any strikes, which I really appreciate. I'm glad I picked it up. I think this would also be a good, just in general, foundation brush. So here is the skin tint, very close to the camera. I wanted to show you how it just evened out the tone very nicely. I feel like this is going to be the perfect everyday. I don't want to do my makeup, but I just want to throw something in there to make everything look a little bit nicer. The redness did not disappear entirely, but it made it look so much better. And I feel like my skin just looks healthy. Like it just provided a natural, very, very light coverage. Like I said, just kind of like my skin woke up looking very nice. So I do appreciate it. The tone, I feel like it's perfect. I'm glad I picked up this shade. I wasn't entirely sure if it was gonna be a good shade, but I feel also because it is a very, very sheer coverage, you can't go as wrong picking up your shade, because I feel like it's going to be very easy to just grab anyone, and as long as you're like in the spectrum of like light, medium, dark skin tone, I feel like it'll be good. I am really liking this. For someone especially like me that I always go for more medium to full coverage, this is looking very nice. This is like a breath of fresh air that is definitely going to be different in my collection, and I like it. I am really liking it. I honestly bought it just out of the blue. I saw it released on the Sephora site, and I added to like remind me whenever it's available, and I got that email yesterday, so I'm like, okay, just gonna go pick one up. I was already gonna go to the store, so might as well. It's looking very, very nice. I am going to do a second layer just to see how this kind of like layers up and how much you can actually build coverage. I know you can't really build much coverage, but just, you know, for the sake of it. And I'm gonna show you real quick. It's like, you can see the serum and the tint separating. So whenever you apply the brush and just blend it in, that's kind of like what the brush looks like. So I'm gonna add a little bit extra, just one more layer. It is layering very nicely. So this is just on this side of my skin. It feels very, very refreshing when applied. So I feel like this would be a great foundation for whenever it gets warmer. And same thing, I added one more extra pump so I can do the other side of my face. So this is going to be, I feel like, perfect for the spring and summer whenever I don't want to have like too much makeup caked up, just because Houston gets really hot and that's not something that I prefer. Here we have with 2 layers. I added one more on both sides of my face. It definitely layered up really nicely, and it did provide a bit more coverage. I can see it like around my eyes, and also this redness. I really like it. It's looking pretty good. I feel like maybe the second layer was not as necessary, just because this is going to be a good foundation for my everyday whenever I just want to add something real quick. I feel like maybe it's also, I don't know if it's oxidizing or the second layer just made it look a little bit darker. I don't know. I need to see. Maybe that second layer was not necessary at all. But yeah, I really like it. I will do without the second layer. Just one layer would be perfect. And I do feel like it got a little bit darker. Like I can see like right here, just looking a little bit darker. But yeah, you guys, this is looking very pretty. I really, really like it. I'm gonna go ahead and complete my makeup. I'm just gonna do my concealer, because I do want to cover the whiteness here and then the whiteness over here. And then I'll probably go for a very light makeup day. I have a very exciting day coming up and I don't want to take too much time doing my makeup. I'm gonna go watch on theaters the Beatles rooftop concert. I bought the tickets maybe like almost a month ago and I cannot wait. That's gonna be in a couple of hours, so I wanna just get ready, be at the theater in time to be the best day probably of my life. But anyway, I'll be right back with my full face. I think that the light is gonna be very different because the sun kind of like just went down. So if things look a little bit different, that's why. I took my time putting on my makeup. I was just kind of like watching a video, and then it's probably been on my skin now for a little bit over an hour. I did want to use only cream products, like my cheek products are only cream. I wanted to go for more of that luminous glowy vibe, and I am really loving this skin tint. I honestly have never been a fan of this kind of foundations, so I was very surprised whenever this came out and how intrigued I was with it. I really, really like it. I feel like it's going to be the perfect everyday. It's just a beautiful skin tint. It gives your face that very kind of like glowy, dewy finish, but it's not going to overdo it. It's not going to be like your skin is looking oily, and it just gives a very light coverage that you can definitely amp up if you add the concealer in like certain areas that you need that more coverage. But I feel like if you don't really have much to cover and you just add this real quick, I feel like your skin is gonna look beautiful. If you have acne or maybe a little bit of discoloration, or you know, whatever you might have with your skin, like I do have vitiligo, just adding the concealer in your areas that you need to ump the coverage, I feel like it just looks perfect. The only place where I have powder is where I did use my concealer, so around my eyes and then a little bit around my nose. Other than that, it's powder free, and this is just the skin. I do have, of course, highlight, but you can still see how beautiful overall the skin tint looks. I am very, very impressed. So let me go ahead and back up a little bit. I just wanted to show you the full face once it was done. This is going to obviously be a first impressions, but as a first impressions, I was very blown away, like very pleased with this skin tint. It is very beautiful. It makes your skin look very glowy, very healthy, just like plumped, and so pretty. I am very happy I picked this up. I don't even know why I wanted to pick it up. It was just kind of like one of those things that I saw it was released. I'm like, oh, let me just pick it up. Like, I didn't think much about it, so I am very happy I did. I feel like I would be definitely using this more on my no makeup days, whenever I just want to look a little more presentable and more put together, but without trying too much. Whenever I'm just like throwing in some mascara, throw this in my face, some brows, a lip oil, and then I'll be so happy. I feel like for my everyday, now that I'm trying to do more makeup, even whenever I'm just working from home, which I have for the past 2 years, I feel like this is going to help me get out of that funk of not doing makeup and then just feeling a little bit better with just a tiny bit of makeup. Let me know in the comments down below if this is on your radar or if you already picked it up. What are your thoughts? This is of course a very sheer coverage, so I know it's not suited for everyone, but as for me, I feel like I'm really going to enjoy this product on my everyday and on those no makeup days. Thank you so much for watching. If you did like this video, please give it a big thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe before you leave, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!